The Diddy trial has officially escalated, revealing shocking details no one saw coming. What began as Cassie's disturbing story has grown into a much larger scandal, far beyond anything gossip blogs anticipated. Forget typical celebrity drama. This situation is unfolding in a federal courtroom with leaked audio, vivid whispers, and old footage pulling some of Hollywood's biggest names into a troubling spotlight. The internet is ablaze and the streets are buzzing. Those involved are likely questioning their decisions after weeks of the prosecution presenting Cassie's allegations of abuse, controversial incidents, and Diddy's alleged control over her life. The situation has taken an unexpected turn. Sources from within the courtroom and online leaks suggest that the focus has shifted to a series of audio recordings, raw, explicit tapes that reportedly feature Diddy alongside Will Smith and Meek Mill. This is no ordinary internet rumor. These tapes are allegedly being played in open court, causing shockwaves. The story began with a video shot in a hotel lobby a few days ago. Initially, there was no audio, and many thought that was all there was. However, sources close to the case now claim that behind closed doors, the audio was played and it left the entire courtroom in stunned silence. Phones were banned, journalists couldn't record, and the silence was almost palpable. One attendee described the clip as undeniably graphic, so intense it froze the room, leaving everyone aware they had just heard something significant. As if that wasn't enough, the drama intensified when new witnesses were introduced. These aren't just random individuals seeking attention. They include former Bad Boy artists and former staff members who were close to Diddy, people who toured with him, partied in his mansions, and allegedly witnessed events firsthand. Some of them, who stayed quiet for years, are now reportedly ready to testify under the protection of the law. One notable voice among these witnesses is Dawn Richards, a former member of Diddy's girl group, Danity Kane. She recently took the stand and was photographed looking visibly drained as she left the courthouse, surrounded by paparazzi. Insiders say her testimony supported Cassie's claims, with Richards openly acknowledging that Diddy did some truly disturbing things.
One thing Dawn said is after she saw Diddy beat Cassie, the next day
he came in the room
and threatened her.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Dawn is testifying that exactly what she talked about in her civil suit, in addition to some other things, that they were in a house in LA in 2009. Diddy beat Cassie because Cassie wasn't finished allegedly making his food on time, and the next day he came in the room to talk to her and her band member, and he basically told them, allegedly that he told them, don't say anything, what y'all saw up there was passion, and when people say stuff about things like this about me, they end up missing.
This isn't speculation. It's reportedly in the court transcripts. Then there's Diddy's daughter. If you were looking for a clear sign of how serious the situation has become, her departure from the courtroom was it. There was no arrogance, no attitude, just a pale, blank, and completely silent expression. Even the persistent paparazzi didn't attempt to ask questions. She didn't even glance up. Sources suggest her reaction occurred right after the audio was played, which only adds to the unsettling nature of what may have been heard inside. The consequences here go far beyond Diddy's legal troubles. Now, we're dealing with ruined reputations, a family legacy on the brink of collapse, and a tangled web of secrets involving some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. Will Smith's name wasn't just casually mentioned, it's reportedly directly tied to that audio. The internet exploded when his name was connected to the case. The moment it hit the headlines, the internet went into a frenzy, with old clips, awkward interviews, and podcast snippets resurfacing. Suddenly, every past interaction between Will and Diddy was being analyzed through a harsh new perspective. One interview that gained viral attention again was when comedian Lul casually mentioned Diddy and Will clapping each other's cheeks. She said it so offhandedly that most people overlooked it the first time. But this time, it exploded. Memes surfaced and speculation began to grow. But the situation quickly took a darker turn. Fans began rewatching old footage of Will with his son, Jaden Smith. The affectionate kisses and playful energy that once seemed like endearing father-son moments were now being viewed with growing discomfort. People voiced their unease, and the tone shifted from lighthearted amusement to genuine concern. Then came the bombshell moment. Brother Bilal, Will Smith's former assistant, dropped his own allegations, making it much harder to dismiss as mere gossip. He claimed to have personally witnessed Will involved in explicit acts, even graphically detailing a moment where Will allegedly touched another man intimately. And that wasn't even the most shocking part of his claims. Bilal went on to say that he once walked in on Will and Dwayne Martin in a compromising position.
And then I've saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, well, but I see his car there. So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up.
After brother Billo revealed his bombshell about Dwayne Martin, the internet quickly turned into a digital investigation hub. Fans didn't wait for official media confirmation. They began searching for every clip, photo, and interview where Diddy and Will appeared together, whether at events, hugging, laughing, or standing close like best friends. The visual evidence kept piling up. This directly contradicted the image Will had worked so hard to maintain. Will's response was a firm denial. His quote was, "I ain't nowhere near that man. I did none of that stupid." However, his denial seemed to backfire. The moment he said it, Twitter and Reddit exploded with photos and videos showing him and Diddy together at parties, clubs, award shows, and casual hangouts. The evidence was overwhelming, and now, instead of just raising suspicions, people felt like they had been lied to. This is where Meek Mill was dragged even further into the spotlight. His name came up during the courtroom playback of the alleged tapes. Once this news broke, chaos ensued. Unlike Will, who at least attempted a calm denial, Meek went into a full meltdown. His Twitter feed became a constant stream of defensive posts, but the more he tweeted, the more convinced people became that something was definitely off. Meek's association with Diddy has been a subject of jokes for years. Fans often joked about their dynamic, giving Meek nicknames like Diddy's intern, Pocket Puppet, and other, much darker terms. At the time, most people dismissed these comments as trolling, but now they were being revisited and seen as pieces of a puzzle finally coming together. The internet also dug up evidence on Meek. One viral video showed him at a party with billionaire Michael Rubin, where he appeared awkward and childlike. He seemed uncomfortable, as if trying to laugh something off, but the vibe felt completely off. A voice in the background could even be heard laughing and taunting him. Then there's the infamous video of Diddy hosting a birthday party for Meek. At first glance, it seems normal, but the party is filled with shirtless men by the pool. Diddy is heard calling Meek daddy on camera, saying, "Proud of you. I love you. I appreciate life, daddy." The internet didn't let that go unnoticed. Every time Meek tried to post something projecting a tough image, fans would throw that clip right back at him. Daddy became an inescapable meme. And when Meek went on a rant declaring, "I'm not fruity. Stop playing with me," the replies were flooded with screenshots, old tweets, and videos showing him looking undeniably close with Diddy. But what's truly keeping everyone hooked, what's fueling this relentless online investigation, is the mystery of the actual audio. So far, not a single second of the audio has leaked. No shaky cell phone videos, no whispered snippets, not even a blurry still image from the courtroom during playback, just secondhand accounts and hushed summaries from those inside. The silence itself is what makes the situation so unsettling and intense. Everyone is hearing about how explosive and graphic the audio allegedly is, but no one outside the courtroom has actually heard it for themselves. One insider described the audio as possibly capturing a man being assaulted, with Diddy laughing in the background. That's the kind of disturbing detail being whispered about. There was even a brief rumor online, quickly debunked by most, suggesting that someone had a recording of Meek and Diddy in an intimate act. Whether that was true or simply a clout chasing rumor is unclear, but the fact that it gained traction shows just how high the speculation is surrounding this case. The authorities' decision to withhold any release of the audio is only adding to the suspicion. In the U.S. legal system, evidence doesn't typically remain hidden during a criminal trial unless there's a compelling reason. Journalists have already started asking tough questions. If this audio is as crucial and damning as people say, why is it locked away? Why can't the public hear what's potentially being used to convict someone in a system that prides itself on transparency? This silence feels intentional and heavy. Some argue that it's about protecting the identities and dignity of those involved, which may seem reasonable at first. Others suggest that the real reason is that the audio is simply too explosive. It implicates too many powerful names, and there's too much power behind the scenes trying to shield the truth. If this audio were to leak, it could ruin reputations, destroy careers, collapse lucrative deals, trigger numerous lawsuits, and potentially involve individuals who haven't even been named yet. And that's the truly unsettling part. If Diddy, Will, and Meek are just the tip of the iceberg, who else could be dragged into this potentially devastating situation? As wild as the celebrity names and alleged acts may seem, the most disturbing aspect of this whole saga is the silence. We live in a time where secrets rarely stay hidden for long. iCloud hacks, leaked court documents, even sensitive courtroom audio often find their way online. So far, not a single piece of the alleged Diddy tapes has been released. No clips, no whispers, not even a screenshot. This silence speaks volumes and raises a critical question: who is protecting this? This question has sparked a whole new layer of speculation, because let's face it, this trial stopped being just about Diddy and Cassie weeks ago. It's revealing the potential existence of a larger network, a deeply ingrained culture operating behind the closed doors of fame and fortune, something that may have been happening unchecked for years. And the only reason it's coming to light now is due to the relentless pressure from federal authorities, and because the alleged survivors and insiders now feel a sense of safety in speaking out. We are witnessing the public unraveling of someone who has been a fixture in the spotlight for decades, someone who once appeared untouchable. But Diddy was more than just a music mogul. He was a key figure in hip-hop, television, fashion, and broader culture. He built the bad boy for life image, hosting extravagant parties, promoting the Vote or Die campaign, and forming high-profile friendships. But now, all of that carefully constructed persona is falling apart in real time. What's truly unsettling is how many people are now looking back and thinking, we should have seen this coming. In hindsight, the warning signs were always there. From his reportedly intense control over his artists to those peculiar interviews where he paused after almost every sentence, as if he were half joking and half hiding something. Many artists who left Bad Boy seem to either end up damaged or fade from the public eye. Maze, The Lox, Day 26, the list goes on. Aubrey O'Day has been trying to raise awareness for years, and it seems that the courtroom is finally taking notice, even if the wider public dismissed her claims at the time. Don Richards' testimony reportedly added significant weight to the idea that Diddy wasn't just difficult, but allegedly predatory. Her confirmation of Cassie's account in a legal context is a powerful and potentially devastating blow. The emotional fallout isn't just impacting Diddy. Will Smith's already fragile reputation, still recovering from the Oscar slack, is now on even shakier ground. Those who defended him during that controversy are now questioning his character even more deeply. Because if those audio tapes are real, and if he's involved, this isn't just a PR nightmare. It could be career-ending. As for Meek Mill, the internet has effectively declared him guilty in the court of public opinion. He hasn't been charged with anything, but his frantic, defensive posts like those claiming, "Y'all trying to ruin me," only fuel the widespread suspicion. And that's the harsh reality of the digital age. Once your name becomes linked to something this serious, legal innocence may not matter. The battle for public perception is often already lost, yet the silence from official channels continues. There's been no statement explaining the delay in releasing the tapes, and no confirmation of their existence beyond the leaked summaries. This only strengthens the theory that these tapes are too sensitive to be touched. Perhaps the people involved hold too much influence, or maybe they're connected to unseen power structures. It's also possible that the government itself is navigating a complex political landscape, hesitant to fully confront the potential fallout. So we're left in this uncomfortable limbo. The legal proceedings go on, the internet relentlessly digs for any scrap of information, and the people allegedly involved carry on as if nothing is wrong. But that can't last forever. This isn't a story that will simply fade away, because the internet has a long memory and an even longer reach. And when people feel that the truth is being deliberately hidden, their determination to uncover it only grows. If these tapes ever do surface, they could shake the very foundations of Hollywood's elite circles, not just because of what Diddy allegedly did, but because of who else might have been in that room. The velvet curtain is slowly being pulled back, and what's behind it may be far more disturbing than anyone ever imagined. We'll certainly be keeping a close eye on how this develops.